going to end this right at 8. RJ, Kevin, Justin, Jesus, Darius, Arthur, Mr. Aloha Electronics, Nick. Did I say anyone else? Well, maybe the scroll thing was off. That's okay. Aloha's back from his business trip. There's nothing wrong with business trips. That's the good stuff. That is the good stuff. All right, so what are we going to talk about today, guys? What did we make a post about? And let's see. We had a couple comments. Kennedy wanted to go over phone shop follow-up routine and tips. We could talk about that for a little bit. Phone shop follow-up routines. Yeah. There's already a bunch of group chats in the back office about how to get phone shops. If you're not going after phone shops, guys, I don't know what you're doing. I just have no idea what you're doing. I bought over $10,000 worth of phones from phone shops today, or from phone shops this week. I've spent over $10,000 in cash from phone shops. It's just great. They bring you money consistently on a consistent basis. It's the easiest thing in the world. You just do exactly like we talked about in the group chat. You're going to look for phone shops in your area. You're going to look for pawn shops. You're going to look for phone shops selling like third-party services. That's it. It's the easiest thing in the world. You just make a list. You can go hit them up. I mean, and you don't even have to spend that much time. You can spend a couple hours a day hitting up phone shops. And if you're not going to phone shops and pawn shops, I have no reason why you would not be doing it. The only reason I could think of is you're just nervous to walk in there and talk to them. But that is not an excuse. That's not a legit excuse for not taking the actions that are needed to get the results that you want in your life. You know, no one likes selling. No one likes closing. No one likes doing the things until they get good at it, because then they see the results from it. And the results in their life overpower kind of the things they don't like about it. I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world. It's just it's so great, and the market's so open, and I mean, no one is really doing this. It's just the greatest thing in the world. It's just the greatest thing in the world. You know, what you'll do is you get a bunch of shops, you get a bunch of stores that negotiate for you. You don't have to do anything. You make these connections, and these owners and or their, team members, they will negotiate for you. They'll negotiate on your behalf. They'll deal with the customers that show up that have the crackbacks, and they'll renegotiate. And then you only go meet up with them when they have a phone that they've closed. I mean, it's like the greatest thing ever. Justin says, how much money should we have in reserve before we approach phone shops? $55. If you have $55, you want to go approach phone shops. Why? Because if you've seen some of the items I buy cheap items as well. What was it? A couple of weeks ago, I bought a watch for, I think, $80. I sold it for like $160 or something like that. Bought a phone for $100. Anything that's a delay that's stopping you from taking action today and going out there and approaching is an excuse that needs to be overlooked. I'm not saying what you said is an excuse, Justin. I'm just making an overall point here, of course. But you don't need a certain amount of money. You don't need a certain amount of connections. You don't need anything except to go in the car, go to the phone shops, shake their hand, be nervous. You're going to be nervous. Good. Be nervous. It doesn't matter. You can be totally nervous. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with anything. I mean, I was at the club a couple weeks ago, and I'm talking to this girl, and it's going really good, and, I got so nervous, I'm shaking. So I'm sitting there talking. Well, we're, hanging out, and I'm, shaking. I just shake a lot. That's what I do. You guys know in the beginning when I started buying phones, I used to shake a lot, too, when I would buy phones. That's okay. It's okay to shake a bunch if you're going to shake. It's okay to be so nervous that your voice cracks. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that's wrong is when you don't take the actions you need to be taking because you don't feel like it, or it doesn't feel right, or it's your feelings. We don't do any of that stuff. And you guys have seen that I've sold lots of items on eBay, so you don't need the special buyer. Aaron, where do I find the special private buyer? Sold a lot of items on eBay, guys. Guys, on eBay. eBay. We all have eBay. I think a couple people... I think Timothy's the only one that doesn't have eBay, and he's still done $10,000 a month. So you don't need a certain amount of money. You don't need a certain connection. You don't need to wear oversized tank tops from Walmart. You just need to go approach the fucking stores and How many stores do we need to approach, team? Do we need to approach a couple, or do we need to approach 40 to 50? We need to approach 40 to 50 because some stores aren't going to have phones. Some stores you might be a little nervous in, to be honest, and you might not stay in the conversations and say the things they're supposed to be doing. So you might have to have a couple warm-up stores. And then some stores like you might not be able to get. There's this one store that I made a connection with. His guy pays more than my guy. So I'm still trying to buy phones from him because why should we let price stop you from selling phones to me? That just doesn't make any sense to me. What? It's just a number. Who cares? But there's still a good chance that I might not ever buy any phones from this person. So you got to run the numbers. And just like if you put up one ad, I mean, imagine if you had a phone flipper that put up like 3 ads. They got a few contacts. A few people contacted them. They didn't close any deals, and they said, "Oh, the phone thing doesn't work." Well, it's just not that you're not taking enough action. You got to be taking massive amounts of action. You got to be doing consistently over a period of time to really build it up. And all we're looking for is really just a few people. We're really just looking for a few people that are going to bring you phones on a very consistent, probably weekly basis that you can just kind of run with. Anthony told us how he made one connection at, I think, Radio Shack before when Radio Shack was a thing. He made like $22,900 in profit in 1 year from one connection. Okay. Yet there's phone flippers out there that are a little bit they're nervous about walking in and being a little bit uncomfortable for 30 seconds or a couple minutes, even though the upside is they could make $22,900 in profit from a store that's going to negotiate for you, and all you have to do is go meet up with them. It's the easiest thing in the world. It's the easiest thing in the world. Easiest thing. Business is so easy. Business is so easy. Nick says, sometimes I don't post ads because I feel like it's too late in the day. That's okay, Nick. Post the ads anyway. There's never a perfect time not to post an ad because some people will see the ads then, some people will see the ads later. I posted ads in the morning. I posted ads at midnight. I mean, I've met up with people. I met up with a guy a couple days ago, like it was after midnight to buy some phones. It doesn't matter. If you're not taking, so this is what we need to be doing. If we think that we shouldn't be doing something because it's not the right time or we're not good enough in any way, that's an excuse in our heads that must be addressed and overcome. It doesn't have to be overcome. It can be there, but you're just going to do it anyway. So like, should I list the item on eBay? Is it the good time? List the item. Should I post the ad? I post the item. Is it too late to walk into the store? Is it too early? The store looks kind of busy. It's the weekend. Okay? Walk into the store regardless. I don't know. I'm not sure. They close in 15 minutes. Good. That means they're going to be slow. They're winding down. Walking. I'll just wait till Monday. No. None of that. We've all waited long enough to get our goals, and most of us aren't making the money we want right now. There's no need to delay when you have a proven-to-work blueprint you can follow to make money. There's no need to push it off. We're going to start doing it right now. And we'll figure it out along the way, and if we have some mess-ups, we have some mess-ups. In the beginning, I remember one time I closed the guy on the phone. I was driving there to get the phone. I had no money. And my buddy said there's this thing called Cash App. I downloaded Cash App as I'm driving to meet him. I set it up, linked it to my bank account. My buddy cashed at me like $120. I think the phone was like 100, 110, whatever. Then I deposited it into my bank account. Then I went to an ATM by the guy where we were meeting up, took out the money, and then I bought the phone. Okay? That guy, by the way, ended up being a great connection that he probably sold me. I mean, it was at least 1,000 phones if I had to guess. If I had to guess, it was at least 1,000 phones. We did big deals together. We used to hang out. We made a lot of money together. I probably made about $25,000, $30,000 with that connection. So that's that. Nick says, we'll do. The law of large numbers. Had a guy when we met up to come to find out it was a fake 11 Pro. So sometimes I don't post ads because it don't fail. There's this law that's called Sam Ovens and Alex Becker talk about it. It's called second and third order consequences. I highly recommend everyone go watch the video of Sam Oven on YouTube because he probably explains it more elegantly than me. But what he says is that whenever we make decisions we do have a bigger consequence. So if we make the decision to, let me ask you guys a question. If let's say we just take a day off and we don't put up any ads, and there's nothing wrong with taking days off. I actually take some days off now, okay? Darius Moore has known me for a little bit. Darius probably say, yeah, Aaron, every now and then he takes some days off every now and then. But the majority of the time you want to be on your business. Why? Because let me ask you guys a question. Let's say that you're averaging $300 a day and you take a day off. What happens if you probably just lose out $300 for the day, right? What do you guys think in the chat? If we just take a day off, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with taking days off. There's nothing wrong with that. There's certain times where it's good to grind it out for months without taking days off. I think the first 9 months, I don't think I ever took a day off, or I ever did not post an ad for a day, or I ever did not respond to all my leads. It just didn't make sense to me. But if you just take a day off, so I give you guys a scenario. I just want you guys to see it. So what Sam Ovens and Alex Becker talk about with the second and third order consequences is sometimes we only see the first thing. We don't see all the other things that happen from that. So for example, so let me ask you guys a question. Has anyone here ever had a lead contact them? They knew they were supposed to say certain words. They were supposed to follow the script or say certain words. Maybe the person didn't accept the offer the first time. And because of that, maybe you just ignored them or you pushed them aside or you didn't feel like following the script and having to negotiate and work hard. So you just went on to the next lead. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've ever done that. 1 in the chat. And guys, I've done it too. Okay, I'm not perfect either. And I probably lost a bunch of money because of this. And so allow me, I got a 1 from Mr. Aloha. Nick, Justin, Aaron, I got a 1 from iPhone. So I tell you guys a little story. I'm on, I think, Letgo a while ago. Guy hits me up, says he wanted a quote for the phones. My ad said, I buy phones, top prices paid, message me for details. He said he had a quote, asked how much for the phone. I gave him a price. He goes, I thought you said you paid highest prices for them, LOL. Now, when he said that, you know what I could have said? I could have just ignored him. Screw the guy. I'm making some money anyway. Screw the guy. I'm just going to go get some kombucha. Why do I have to deal with this knucklehead, guys? Why don't I just go to Whole Foods, get a big bottle of kombucha, go home, and drink the kombucha, okay? This what I did is I made the decision to say, you know what? I'm going to follow the process and stay with it. So I said I just followed. This was like 6-8 months ago. I don't remember the exact script, but it was something along the lines of, I'm sorry, you said you had a, 11, they didn't have those back then. XR, right? Yeah. Well, listen, you have a great phone. I totally want to buy it. I actually need some more phones. How much I stayed in the process. We ended up working out terms, and I met up with him. Because I made the decision in that moment to stay in the conversation and follow the script, I've since bought a bunch of phones from the guy. He's the guy I'm going to meet after this to buy. I'm buying like 6 or 7, I don't know. But I'm buying a bunch of phones from him. It's supposed to be between like a $5,000 and $7,000 deal. He's already got the phones. I'm going to call him when I get done, and we'll figure out how many phones he got. Because I made that one decision, if I had to guess, I probably made $15,000 in profit from that one contact. We don't see all the consequences that happen from good or bad actions. If you take good actions, what's the things that will happen? You'll start to make these contacts. Your skill sets will be high enough, so when you get tough customers, because you've been going through the training and taking action, you'll be at a place where you can stay in the conversations. You know what to say to close some deals that could potentially make you $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in profit over an extended period of time. Making one little wrong decision in that one thing, in that one little scenario, if I decided, you know what, screw the guy, maybe I'm gonna go off on him and I'll be the big man. I'm gonna be the big man. Yeah, I'm gonna be the big man, and I'm gonna tell him to screw off, and I'm gonna feel great about myself till I get home, look at my bank account, and realize I'm still fucking broke. I decided not to go down that route. I said, I'm just gonna stay the process like I always do, like I've been teaching, like I've been doing for a while. And because I decided to follow the process, it turned out to be a beautiful relationship. My guess is there's people on this chat that because you didn't respond to all your ads, you didn't stay the process, you didn't pursue, you didn't do the things you were supposed to be doing. My guess is there's people on here that have lost contacts that because of that, your bank account would be $5, $10, $15, $20,000 plus higher than where it is right now, because we know every now and then you find some of these contacts that you really run with and stay with and can make you a lot of money over an extended period of time. So think about this. When you're doing deals, think about this. Now think about that this deal, it might not be an $80 profit deal from this one thing. It might be. A lot of deals, it's just one time and it's done. But what about the people where it's a long time thing? Or what about this one guy I negotiated with back and forth for a while? I met up with him. He sold me a few phones. Then he sold me a few phones later. Then he introduced me to his boy that was from out of town that used to drive like 7 hours to bring me like $10,000 worth of phones at once, where I made probably $8,000 to $9,000 in profit from that little run that I had with the guy he introduced me to. I did like upwards of like $14,000 in cash for like a single deal. He came in, it looked like Santa Claus, came in with a big duffel bag on Denny's, plopped it on the thing in Denny's, and pretty much took up the entire table of Denny's. We opened it up and we had phones just stacked up. These things matter, guys. These things very important. Now, with that said, it's good to have days off, right? It's good to relax, but when you're working the business, my friends, work it fully. Give it like your all. Like when I go, is Magner on here? Like when I go clubbing and make a conscious effort that I'm just going to keep approaching women till I approach all the women, or it doesn't work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out, right? But sometimes it works out pretty good. But it's not like, my goal is the clubs, and sometimes it's not. St. Louis is not. I need to move where RJ is to Vegas, where there's just so many more people. But, my goal is I'm approaching, and a lot of times it's 15, 20 different groups of people because I'm trying to run the numbers. If I'm there, I want to go all out with it. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I need to get the most results in the environment. RJ says duty. Oh, man, makes me want to go right now. So, guys, with that said, said, Aaron, what about the training? What about the stuff we were going to go over? But this stuff is important too, because it's good to think about this. It's good to have these thoughts. It's good to have this awareness. Phone shops. Yeah, just go through the training in the back. Go through the phone shops, guys. Go approach it. And, of course, like we've talked about before, remember that these phone shops, sometimes they're not individuals. We're dealing with people that potentially have been around for a long time. Guys, I bought phones from a guy earlier this week. He runs a phone shop. He knows about Atlas and Zellphone. He sold phones to me. 4 of the phones he sold were open box, and I paid less than what Zellphone pays, okay? He sold them to me anyway. Because why do we got to let price? Why do we got to let price stop us from you selling me phones? Why do we got to let price stop us from us doing business together? So it's you just go make the connections. It's very good. Make the connections. But then understand that you're building relationships with people, and everyone's a little different, and that's kind of how this stuff works. So I got a call negotiation. We're going to do a little message negotiation. So let's pull this up, because we've not done a message negotiation in, well, it's probably been a week. But you guys know it feels like a year. Feels like a year when we haven't done. We got one from Dan. We got one from Mr. Justin. Let's see. I appreciate both the ones that you guys posted. Justin's on here, right? Justin, have we ever done a message negotiation? I try to mix it up with different people, because usually different people, we can learn different lessons from each person. I don't think we have. I think it'd probably be good to do Justin. Hey, Justin, step up to the front of the class. We're going to knock this sucker out. All right, let's go ahead and do Justin's one. First of all, thank you, Justin, for posting your conversation. I know that it can be a little uncomfortable to post conversations, because you might say, Aaron might tear me apart. Some people don't feel that way. I think some people do. Guys, that's good. It's good when you can get broken down. Not when you can get broken down, but when you can have light shine on the areas you need to improve. I shouldn't tell it to you guys because it's kind of embarrassing. So I took a dating boot camp a long time ago. And the dating boot camp, they had a day where they record you when you're out in the field. And I'm so nervous about this, because it's like, what is this going to do? It's going to show all the areas that I'm not doing good at. I'm approaching. I will approach, but it's going to show all these other little sub-communication things. But that's good because once I'm aware of these little things or big things, okay, we're talking about dating, not talking about phones at this point, then I can work on being aware of it. And then once I have the awareness, I can work on fixing it. Same thing with the phone flipping thing. When we get, and as you guys know with the phone negotiating, sometimes it's like one or two little words. Sometimes it's just a little subtle things. But once you get all these subtle things down and you get it really good, your phone flipping shoots through the roof, your negotiating shoots through the roof, and you get to the point where you have a skill set you can use to consistently always get a percentage of people down in price to get them to agree to happily sell you their phone at the price you want to pay for it, not the price that they want to sell for it. And then you just kind of go around and make a bunch of money and live the good life. You can be like the 40, 45 people we have in Next Level now that do this full time. There's a lot of people in Next Level now, guys, that are doing this full time, that are making $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in profit. I mean, we could ask some of them. Like, RJ, when he was working his job, even though he was working his job, he does this full time now. His last month he was working his job. He would get off work at 11:30 at night, still did $6,500 in profit that month with a capital P. Guys, that's some solid stuff. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. Darius, I feel like you and me have known each other for like 2.5 years. I don't know. I just feel like I've known Darius for a long time. Feel like, oh, Deb, I've seen Deb, Eric, a lot of people, Mike, Kevin. Oh, Nate the Great. What's up, Nate the Great? Yeah, we got a bunch of people on. Andre, good to see you here. Let's see. Do we have anyone? Jamari, good to see you here. I think it's Jamie S. If I pronounce that wrong, just let me know. Maybe it's Jamie. January 2018. Well, so we've been at it for a little bit. All right, so let's get to the training. All right, screenshot number 2. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the message negotiation rules. Would anyone here be so kind as to maybe share with me in the chat some of the rules that we follow for message negotiation? Hey, it's good to see you here too, Nate. We're kind of like a family here, just because, we're kind of on the same path. Some of us, we've been hanging out for a few weeks, a few months, a couple of years. So it's fantastic. RWOCM. And you guys know there's no one I'd rather hang out with than you guys because you guys are motivated. You guys are ambitious. You guys want more for your life. Most people, well, everyone wants a better life, but very few people are willing to do the things that are needed to get it. So, it's just nice. I like seeing people that are willing to do things that make themselves uncomfortable and that are willing to, sacrifice things and have delayed gratification, do things people aren't willing to do. So in the future, you can live the life others aren't willing to live. RWOCM, absolutely, RWOCM. Now, what is this? Of course, some of you guys know I stole this directly from the straight line persuasion that Jordan Belfort has, or at least the general frame where we're going to go in a line. R is they reach out to us. W is we're going to figure out what they have. O is we're going to make an offer. C is we're going to close. M, we're going to go for the meetup. Uh-oh, guys, I got a question, my friends. So once they reach out to us, we figure out what they have. The what is, of course, the phone, carrier, and condition, unless you live in Canada, and, of course, all phones are unlocked. But it's the phone, the carrier, the condition. Guys, I got a question. Would someone help me out with the answer to this? Let's say that the customers reached out to me. I've effectively, by asking questions, one idea per message, gotten the phone, the condition, and the carrier, and I go to make an offer. It's time for me to send the offer, but I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because in my head, I decided that this iPhone 8 Plus with a crackback from Sprint, because I'm only able to offer $90, it feels kind of low, and I feel like there's a higher chance of them rejecting me. So because of that, I'm thinking about not making the offer and delaying it because I'd rather try to avoid potentially putting myself out there, the customer saying no and feeling rejected. At this point, do you guys think that I should dilly-dally around in the offer, or I should put myself in check, do what I need to do, and shut the heck up and make the offer and quit being a big baby? Oh, Justin says do it. Kevin says, send the offer. Nate says, doesn't matter how low, just do it. Nick says, send the offer, do it anyway. Dang, Nate's over here yelling at me. All right, Nate, I don't know why you got to cuss at me, man. I thought we were friends. On the other side of fear is greatness, says Will Smith. Say no more. You guys are all absolutely right. We are going to make the offer regardless of how we feel, because our feelings don't matter. Taking income-producing actions and making the money you deserve to make so you can live the life you deserve to make is what matters in this scenario. Of course, we got micro steps, the 3 levels, 4 parts. These are 4 objections. What else does everyone here say? 3rd grade reading level, thank you. 1 idea per line. Says Nate the Great, micro steps, Nick, 3rd grade Justin. All right, so you guys are on it. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and pull up Justin and we can see what Justin says. I'll close off all these tabs right here. Okay, now can I zoom this in? All right, maybe we can't. It's okay. It's okay. Is this still available? I got an iPhone 8, 64 gigabyte space gray. All right, so let's see what we got right here. Is this still available? I got an iPhone 8, 64 gigabyte space gray. So let's see, what could we have said? One of the things we're always feeling is we want to be friendly, but we want to be professional. We want to have a sense so we're fully invested in the conversation, but we don't need the deal to close, even though maybe we need it because we feel kind of needy, and that's totally fine. I've been there a gazillion, trillion, billion times. But that's kind of what we're shooting for, right? So, I got an iPhone 8, 60. I'm thinking I would have said, okay, cool. Any damage to it? I like to say any problems with it, but damage is absolutely fine. It doesn't matter either way. More than one way to skin a cat in certain situations. Okay, cool. Any damage to it? I would have probably said, it doesn't, I don't know. We're probably splitting hairs. I don't think it matters. We'll just say, okay, any damage to it. So it's pretty good so far. Now, one of the things we like about Justin said any damage to it. He asked 1 idea per message. He asked it with a question. He didn't ask 10,000 things. Very good, right? These simple, easy answers is easy for people to respond to us with. It's easy for people to respond. Okay, great. Anything wrong with it? Yeah, I would have probably said, okay, cool, or okay, great. Just because, especially because he said, well, is this available? That was one thing. This was probably an automated response message, but then he said this, and then he did send another line. So because he's putting in a fair amount, he's putting in a little effort. You see how Kent's is putting in a kind of an effort? He hit the button that said, is this available? But then he decided to write you this, and then after he did that, he put space gray. So because he's showing a little bit of investment. He's not fully in, right, Justin, right? We know he's not like blowing up your phone and coming to your house with the bill of sale pre-filled out, right? But because he's doing a couple lines, I'm kind of getting the feeling the guy's a little bit invested. Kind of straight to the point, but you can be straight to the point and still be very invested in the conversation. You guys kind of see that? So I'm thinking I would have probably said, okay, cool. Any damage to it? This is probably what I would have said. Again, we're probably just splitting hairs. Either or, it's not like a big deal, right? It's not like you're messing up like the 3 levels or anything like that. I wouldn't even say this isn't even a mess up, but this is just kind of just kind of like a side note. Not even the main note, just kind of a side note. The other thing that I'm thinking about this guy, what's one of the things we're always doing, guys? We're always thinking, how invested is this guy? What type of person is they? Are they right to the point? Are they going to use pleasantries? Are they going to put some smiley faces? What's going on? So one of the little things I have in my head here, guys, is I made the mental note that he sent this, then he sent this, then he sent this. So that might change little micro things about what I do in the future when we're communicating with them. Yes, and then this, okay, cool, any damage to it would be mirroring him as well. So with that said, let's kind of keep getting into it. Nope. Uh-oh. Mister, is Kent's? We're just going to say Kent's. Nope. Had an OtterBox case, glass screen protector, cracked, but the screen has been protected ever since I got it. So someone tell me what we know about Kent's. When I got started selling, there was a script that they told me to go through. So I used to go through the script and I didn't make any money. And one of the things was I didn't understand that the script worked, but I had to kind of tweak it to each person. If the person was kind of right to the point, I had to be right to the point. If they were kind of like, if they kind of brought up an issue, when I was going through the script, I was selling like Rainbow vacuum systems or cleaners or whatever. But what I should have done is I should have like, if they said they had certain problems with their carpet, I should have addressed that when going through it. It was a framework to follow. It worked, but I needed to. It was also in a different situation. It was like a 3-hour thing. But there's other things here. So one of the things we're doing is as we're using the script, we're kind of seeing who is this person and how could we maybe adjust it to fit this person's situation better. Nate says he's very interested sharing lots of information. Yes. So you guys kind of see this. He said this line, this line, this line. Justin said this, and then he said 3 lines back to back. Now, the other thing he's saying is he's also saying he's kind of breaking up his ideas, and each idea is kind of in one paragraph. Nope, send. Had an outer box, send. Glass screen protector, so he's sharing information. He's kind of proud of the fact that he's doing it, but he's also spacing it out. So because of that, if I talk to him in the future, I'm going to kind of have a communication where it's like blah, 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 blah. So let me ask you guys a question now. Now that we know this, if I have to get to the 4 parts, when I say the 4 parts of an effective counteroffer, I'm not sure if we're going to get to it with him or not because I haven't seen the rest of it. I'm seeing it just now for the first time with you guys. Am I going to say the 4 parts in like one big paragraph, or am I going to maybe break it up and say, you have a great phone, send. It's just that, blah, 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 send. Would you do blah, blah, 100 if I met you today and do this? Send. What do you guys think? Split it up. Absolutely. So you guys kind of see this. I want you guys to get really good. My goal is for everyone in Next Level to get very good at understanding these small micro details, because when you understand them and you know how to use them in your communication with the customer and you're combining that with like really good sales and negotiating, you're going to be making a lot of money. You're going to be making a lot of money. Justin says, okay, no worries. I can give you 200 for it. So I would have said, I don't like no worries. I don't like the word no worries because it has the word no in it. And it's kind of like, well, I sometimes I do like to say no worries, but in this thing, I don't know. I don't like the word okay. I don't like the word okay. Okay, no worries. I can give you 200 for it. We just said, okay, great, send. I can 200 for it. I would have said this. Okay, great, send. I can give you 200 for it. This is what I would have said. Now, why is this? Because it's a little bit more like clean cut and a little bit more of a solid offer. Okay, great, send. I can give you 200 for it. Okay, no worries. I can give you 200 for it. Just small little difference, but I feel like, and then didn't we say okay before? Yeah, see, we said okay. Sometimes okay, and I'm not saying you use it, Justin, but sometimes okay is kind of like a stall word because we might not be comfortable about saying what we need to say next, and we don't really want any fluff with this guy. This guy's being right to the point. Nope, had an outer box case, glass screen protector on it, so we kind of want to make sure we're mirroring that as well and coming off as confidence. If we start saying like, and I'm just making a point here to try to make it bigger so we can all see it, but if I send 5 messages all back to back with him and they all started with okay, you guys see how that might almost aggravate him a little bit. Like, this guy keeps saying okay. Why does he need to say okay? Why can't he just say what he needs to say after okay? It feels like okay might almost be like, well, I'm thinking, let's move it forward. This is very small details, but I just wanted to point it out. And I don't even know if it'd be really fully applied. We only said okay a couple times, guys. So you guys, okay, my friends, listen, you can say okay a couple times. It's totally fine. I'm just kind of trying to make a point and show you and kind of share with you guys something else that might be good for us to be aware of with interacting with a customer like this guy. I definitely would have split this up in 2, though. Said, okay, great, send, I can give you 200 for it. So looks like any thoughts? Now, what do I like about Justin here? What I do like about Justin, I'll tell you, is even though this wasn't split up, he still got right to the point. Justin made the offer, just like he was supposed to. Awesome job, Justin. Very proud of you for that. And then it looks like Justin followed up with it. Awesome job, Justin. Fantastic with that. A lot of people won't follow up. A lot of people won't do that. It's not the funnest thing following up. It's not the funnest thing ever. It's not the funnest thing when, you make an offer, you put yourself out there, they don't respond. We all know what it feels like. We all feel a little rejected usually. And then we're kind of saying any thoughts, so we got to put ourselves out there again. But because we want the money, we're going to go ahead and do things that might make us a little bit uncomfortable. Agreed, team? Agreed. So I love this, Justin. I love how you said any thoughts. And this follow-up is very good, Justin. I can tell you've been studying. I can tell you've been studying and you've been going through the training, because when we follow up with a customer, we don't want to kind of come across it. We don't want to say, so did you want to sell me the phone, you think? And we're going to put a smiley face, and we're going to put a heart, and we're going to put a kissy emoji. This might be a little too much, guys. This just might be a little too much. This might be a little too much, okay? This might be a little bit too invested at this point. But by sending any thoughts, simple, you could even say thoughts, to be honest. You could even say thoughts. It's just a couple words, but it's also following up, and it's very professional. Nick says, Lane, and all pretty. Dang, Nate. Nate says, needing much? Can't do 200, sorry. Freedom is paying me the same amount. I don't know what Freedom is. All I know is this has nothing to do with anything, because so what's the rule here, guys? Freedom is paying me the same amount. I don't know what Freedom is, and it doesn't matter. But if Freedom is paying Kent $200, but Kent still has the phone, what's that tell us? What's that tell us? Dang, Nate. Nate's got to say it in all capitals, too. Hey, dang, Justin, impressive. You are a very smart guy. Wow. Wow. I'm very impressed. Wow. 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 Okay. It's either that he's lying, because part of the time they are lying. Justin, very good, my friend. Very good. Or it's that they don't like the terms. So maybe Freedom is a website, and he's got to ship in the website, and he's got to wait a year and a half to get paid. Or maybe Freedom is a person down the street from him, but Freedom doesn't get paid till next Friday. So what Freedom wants to do is put a $20 deposit on it, give him a half-eaten stick of gum and a bottle of kombucha, and then pay the rest for it later. Either way, if Freedom was paying Kent's a dollar amount that was fair to Kent's, and all the terms, all the details behind it were good, Kent would not be talking to us anymore, because he would have just sold the phone to Freedom and move on to other things. Most people don't get excited about having to negotiate to sell their phones. Most people kind of just want to get their phone sold so they can, go about their life, spend time with their family, watch Gotham on Netflix, whatever it is, do things that they enjoy doing. So we're going to ignore all this, and we're going to go right into the three parts. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So why is it that, why can't we just go into overcoming the objection? Kent says he can't do 200. Why can't we just assume that, why don't we just try to overcome the objection? Why is it important to figure out how much Kent wants for his phone? Yeah, see, Nate's good with this. That's right, absolutely. Why can't we figure out, why do we got to figure out what he wants for his phone? Say, Aaron, he says 200 right here. He says 200. Well, hold up now. We got to figure out what he wants for his phone. So, why do we have to do this? We have to get, that's right, he's not fully invested yet. We got to get a dollar amount. He said he can't do 200. He said Freedom's paying the same amount, but he's not saying I'm looking to get 300. We need to get a dollar amount. They need to tell us a dollar amount of what they're looking to get for their phone. Once we can get a dollar amount from them, then we can negotiate. But we can't negotiate till we get a dollar amount. You guys understand that? There's no way to negotiate until we get a dollar amount, because then we're just kind of negotiating in the air. If I'm trying to buy a phone from, let's see, who am I trying to buy a phone from? I'm trying to buy a phone from Dan, okay? And Dan says, well, Aaron, I can't do 200, sorry. The Eco ATM said they could pay me that much. I'm like, well, Dan, I want to earn your business, blah, blah, blah. Would you do 180 if I made today with cash? That's too premature, and there's nothing to base it off of. Once we get a doubt, once they say, when Dan says, I need $325 for my phone, and Dan tells me what he needs, now we have a place to start negotiating. We have a dollar amount of what Dan wants, and I don't care what Dan wants. I don't care if he wants $1,000 trillion, right? I don't care if Dan's like, Aaron, I need all this money right here, and I might just give you half of the phone. None of that stuff matters. We just got to get a dollar amount. Once we get a dollar amount from Dan, then we're kind of anchored, and we can start negotiating down from that point. The other thing is once we get a dollar amount from the customer of what the customer wants for their phone, what's that show us about the commitment and investment level of the customer? When the customer goes into their head, how much do I want for their phone? I'd like $325, and they send you $325, they're somewhat invested in the conversation. They're actually kind of putting themselves out there, and they're somewhat vulnerable, or else they wouldn't have said all that to begin with. Nate says he's re-engaged and reinvested in the conversation. Yes, when they send you a dollar amount, they're re-engaged and reinvested in the convo at that point. Now, listen to me, team. It doesn't mean that they're like a level 1.00, but they're at least kind of like a level 2. They're at least somewhat engaged. They're at least somewhat working with us, or else they would have said, you know what, don't worry about it. I'll just sell it at Eco ATM. Okay? If they say that, then obviously they're not that invested. When they give us that dollar amount, they're past that level of, you know what, I'm just shopping around, don't worry about it. When they say, would you do 325? I'm looking to get 325 for it. When they say that, you guys see how they're past that phase. The first phase is like, you know what, don't worry about it, Justin. I'll just go sell it. You know what, I was just shopping around, no big deal. Could you do 325? When they say this, they're kind of committed. Now, the best commitment might be, could you do 325? I get off at 8 and I can meet you whenever I get off, something like that. But when they give you that dollar amount, we're working with them a little bit. We got a little conversation going. We can kind of maneuver a little bit. So that's the importance of this. Where are we at? Screen number 2. That's what it says. Can't do. Freedom is paying more. No worries. It's a great phone, and to be honest, I need more iPhone 8s. How much were you looking to get for it? This is very good, Justin. Justin, this is the first one we've done, but I'm impressed with you, man. And you guys know I don't tell people I'm impressed that much unless I'm impressed. This is good, Justin. This is very good. You followed the 3 levels. Looks like he was a level 2, so you put 2 lines of intent. You asked him what he was wanting to get for it. You understood you had to get the dollar amount from him first before you started negotiating. This is very good. This is smooth, Justin. This is very good. Most conversations I look at are not this good, especially if it's the first one from someone. This is good. I can tell you're studying. And I can actually log into the back office of Next Level and see what percentage of the programs everyone on here has gone through. I believe I can also see how long in each section, in each video, everyone's gone through. And I can see, I believe, when the last time people have logged into. Justin, I bet if I looked at yours, it would say you've been going through some training. It would say you've been going through some training and you've been putting in work. This is very good, Justin. This is very good. This is very good. Hey, look at that. We got a dollar amount from him. So you guys see, we're kind of back with the guy. The guy just ignored us here. Mr. Justin, being the professional, smooth phone flipper that he is, followed up with him, got him back with this, and now he's got an offer. Can you do this, right? Now Ken's kind of playing ball. Ken's kind of back into the conversation. Ken's kind of talking to us a little bit because now he's kind of working with us a little bit. So this is very, 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 very good. This is very good so far. All right, no worries. It's a great phone. It's just that I buy and sell and need to make a little oh, Justin, how long have you been in Next Level for? This is very good. This is very good. This is very good. We know because the guy stopped responding to us. The guy's around a level 2. We know that when we ask for a lower, when we start the negotiating phase, we're going to use a soft offer to try to get him down in price because that's a little bit more, it's easier to do that while we keep them engaged and possibly making a hard offer, having them not respond and then losing interest and falling to a level 3. About 3 months, it's pretty good, Justin. This is pretty good, Justin. Justin, I'm telling you, it's pretty good. This is very good, Justin. This would look like a conversation. I'm not sure. They go for around. Now, Justin, did you say where are you located at? Are you in the U.S. or are you in Canada by any chance? Canada, okay. And what are you planning to sell this for? About how much did you get this appraised at? And you can feel free just to kind of, not sure if off my top. You're going to sell it on eBay, right? Okay. So let's see. So this way eBay Canada. Woo, guys, you guys know I go right to eBay in Canada. I have no problem. iPhone 8, 64 gigabyte. So let's see what these are going for. And of course, we know all Canada iPhones come unlocked. Unlocked. Thank you, Justin. I very much appreciate it. Completed items. So let's see. That's an 8 plus. We're going to do the minus plus trick. I forgot who I learned that from, but someone taught it to me. Worn condition C grade. So this one sold for $400. This one sold for $400. Well, this is mint. We're going to assume his is not mint. Unlocked, lightly used with OtterBox. So it looks like they're going for about 400 Canadian. So Justin offered, cool. I'm just going to go off of Canadian because I'm sure that Justin's communicating with the gentleman in Canadian dollars or Canadian currency. And this is Canada, so we'll just do CNC. So Justin offered 200. Here they're going for about 400. So, but he says they're $15 shipping too. Okay. But then the profit might be different, right? I mean, a US dollar or Canadian dollar might be stronger or weaker than the latter. So we might need like more or less Canadian dollars. I'm not going to look up the, just some, okay, let's just go ahead and get back to business. No worries, a great phone. Hey, now this is good. See, you guys see what I like about this? The guy stopped responding, and you see because of the skill sets that Justin used, the guy asked for a counteroffer. Ken said, I'm not sure. Give me a 1 in the chat if you see how, because what we did so far, the person now has some attention with Justin. The guy's now thinking. Justin's got the guy communicating with him. Justin's got the guy starting to negotiate with him. This is very good. This is very good from a guy that he stopped responding to you, Justin. He basically, hey, forget the Justin guy. I'm not going to respond. You followed up and you were professional, and now you kind of revived the guy. This is very good so far, right? Now, does that mean we're going to close the deal? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But this is very good. So this is very, very good. I mean, Justin, this is very good. Okay. This is funny. Okay, Andrew says, all right. I'm not sure they're going for it. So, but this is good. This is very good. He's thinking, Okay, cool. I'll be there in about 20 to 25 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So I was expecting around that range. It's a great phone, and I would like to buy it. Now, this is good. Okay, they go for around this. I'm expecting around that range. So this looks pretty good, Justin. Now, it's a great phone, and I'd like to buy it. We're missing Yeah, what we need to do here is we need to throw a little excuse. You have an excuse here, which is good, but I would have thrown an excuse here. I would have said, it's a great phone, and I'd like to buy it. That's very good. This is very good, Justin. Justin, this is very good so far. I know I've said this. I'm just very impressed because I don't know. This is just very good. It's a great phone, and I'd like to buy it. It just, the newer phones are hurting the prices of the previous models. I would have said something along the lines of this. Sometimes you just got to say a few excuses. And this is what I would have said. It's just the newer phones are hurting the prices of the previous models. Would you do $310 if I met you today with cash? I love this. I love this. I love this. And then what's the other thing Justin's doing? The first was a soft offer. Now this is a medium offer. Now this is a medium offer. He asked if he would go lower. The guy didn't really want to go lower. The guy kind of justified. See, the guy was kind of justifying his price with this. So now because the guy was justifying what his price, we want to justify our price of a lower offer. It's a great phone and I'd like to buy it. Fantastic. It's just the newer models are hurting the price of previous. This is what I would have said. I would have thrown another excuse in there. Sometimes you just got to hit them with a few excuses. And as we know, team, the excuse doesn't matter as long as you have the excuse. The excuse doesn't matter as long as you have the excuse. No, sorry. Dang, shit. Okay. Well, at least he said no, sorry. At least the guy responded, and the guy said sorry. No worries. I want to buy. Oh, very good, Justin. It's just the iPhone 11s were released, the previous models. Could you do any less? I'm free whenever. So I like this. Justin staying in there. Justin the first one was a soft one. Second offer was a medium, and this was a soft one. He's alternating, which means he went through the training, which is very good, very, very good. How much could you go? I mean, so Justin, tell me the max amount of price you're willing to pay for this in order for you to make your money. Because I understand that, you might need more Canadian dollars than you do in U.S. currency to make it worth your while. It might be less. I'm not 100% sure how all this stuff works. The excuse is the excuse. Fantastic. So give me the max amount we can go in the currency we're talking. Can we go up to 250, 260, or is that still a little bit too high? My max would be 250, would be about $80 profit. Okay, that's fair enough. 80 profit. What's the do you know what the minimum wage? Well, I just Google it. Okay, I'm on Google all the time. Canadian minimum. All right, so the Canadian minimum wage is that. So it looks like $80 Canadian currencies are. It looks like that might be. So I see exactly. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay. How much would you go? I'd like to see if I'd be able to possibly work on a price based on how much you were looking to get. I mean, that's not bad. You are pushing for it. Because what happened? Justin made a lower offer with the medium offer. The guy didn't like it. So I like this a lot, Justin. I mean, you're kind of free-flowing. You're also staying in the combo. Justin's made, I think, because before you made an offer before your bag is so 5 offers. So this is good. This is very good. How much less would you be willing to do? Okay. Also, the other thing we got to think is, the other thing I'm starting to think about is how long has the guy had the phone for? If it's been a day or two, he hadn't sold the Freedom, I might almost ask how long, there might become a point after we negotiate price a little bit, or maybe, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you had the phone? How long have you been trying to sell the phone for? Because if he's been trying to sell it for a week, or 5 days, and it hasn't sold, there's a reason. The price that he wants is not the price the market's going to pay for it. Now, we're probably not going to use terminology like that, but we can think that. 300, if you would like. If you get back, I'll get to you if I don't get any offers. So what I would have done here is I would have been I would have asked a couple questions about if you would like. I just said, I really want the phone. You mind if I ask how long you've been trying to sell it for? He says if he doesn't get any other offers, my guess is he has it places somewhere. So I'm trying to get this now, because if I can use this against him as leverage, right? You mind if I ask how long you've been trying to sell it for? Yeah, I've been trying to sell it for 5 days. Well, then we have a little bit, we got a little bit of leverage, right? And then we could potentially use that. It's a great phone. It's just that, people in Canada can be kind of cheap. I'm not sure if you'd be able to sell for that much, but I'm not 100% sure, right? And sometimes you just got to let people come back to you. But what's good about this is Justin stayed in the combo a whole lot too. So if they don't come to terms on this price, Justin could follow up in a few days when the guy hasn't sold it and just kind of wear the guy down. I had one guy, I stuck with him for it was like a month or month and a half. And I think I followed up with the guy probably 8 or 10 times. And he eventually was like, yeah, no one bought it, so I just sold it to you. It was actually a guy I used to work with at AT&T. No problems. It's an awesome phone. Hey, Justin, the man's on it. Look at that. Why are you trying to sell the phone? One, to upgrade. Freedom told me it would probably be better to sell on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. This is good. Justin's getting some information. See, if we go back in dollar prices, right? Now, if they start dropping, sometimes you can work them down. But this guy's kind of tough on price, so sometimes we got to have a little bit different of a conversation and introduce other things to kind of work it down a little bit. This is very good, Justin. Freedom told me it'd probably better sell Craigslist just because I would make more. For sure. It's just that I buy and need to make a little profit. Nothing wrong with the that. I'd love to give you money for your new phone. You wouldn't do $220 if I made a day with cash? He says, no, sorry, brother. So it sounds like the guy's committed to the conversation, but the guy's not coming down in price. So what I would have probably just done is I would have, at this point, probably asked him how long he was trying to sell it for, and then I would have said, if nothing changes, to definitely contact you. Because I'll tell you one thing, if they're wanting more for their phone and no one buys it, no one's going to buy it if it's overpriced. And the other thing is, no other phone flippers have talked to him like this either. A phone flipper, they make an offer and they're done. This guy's very professional. And Kent's kind of nice, but he's kind of stern on his price as well, which is okay. He says, no, sorry, brother. So it's the guy's committed here, but he's firm on his price. We all see that, right? Committed guy from no worries. I wouldn't be able to do the 300, but I would be happy to do 220 and earn your business. If anything changes, feel free to message me or text me at his number. Thanks for your time, and I really appreciate it. Justin, my friend, that is what we call a 10 out of 10. That is beautiful. Now, maybe we could have made a couple little things where it's but that stuff wouldn't matter. That would not have mattered or help close this deal regardless. Justin, this is very good. This was very good. This was very good. This was very good. I would have done exactly what you did. I would have done exactly what you did. It was beautiful. I mean, it was beautiful. You left professional. I would have maybe made a little mental note that in 2 or 3 days, I'm going to hit him up. Hey, just wanted to check in, see how everything's going, see if you got a chance to sell the phone. And then maybe, maybe make an offer. No, I still haven't sold it. All right, no worries. Well, my offer is still on the table if you'd like to sell it, and I just so happen to be free all day today or something like that, and then go from there. But that was very good. That was very good. That was good. And then you said he said he wanted 240, but he's kind of staying firm on his price, and he could always use that to come up a little bit later. He could have done that, but the guy seemed pretty solid at 300. He went from 325 to 300. Some guys, there's always going to be a percentage of people that we can't close. Now, we should never use that as an excuse. We should stay in there and do everything we can do. But I think that was pretty good. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Justin? We doing thumbs up? Thumbs up. I'm doing thumbs up. I mean, that was great. What he did was very professional, stayed in there. And I'm telling you, what you did, Justin, was you also set yourself up for success because you do a bunch of those. And people, they will remember you. That guy was professional. He followed up with me. He didn't get mad and cuss at me like the other knucklehead that doesn't make any money when I hit up his ad. He will remember you. And you were very serious. It was good. A+ from Nick. 1,000 A+ from Nate the Great. Thumbs up from Dan. That was good. That was good. That was good. I mean, that's what I would have done. I would have stayed in there like he did, asked the question, and I would have pulled out exactly when he pulled out. I would have not. I mean, You could have said enough. I don't think it really mattered with him, though. It was very good. Justin, you should feel very good. Your skills are good. Andrew says you really stuck in the combo. Well, that's what I got for you guys. I got to go pick up these phones, but it was great hanging out with you guys. Thank you, Justin, for posting that combo. Your skills are pretty good, Justin. You got some good message negotiation stuff going on. You guys have a fantastic day. I love seeing you guys as always, and you guys have a fantastic night.